We'll be right back after this.
Some residents don't agree that leaders are protecting them by shutting the bridges and tunnels.
We pay a lot for those bridges. They're part of what makes Liberty City unique. The fact that under any of those bridges, you can get head for $10.
Obviously, a man who cares more about getting his rocks off than the future of humanity and making us feel safe. Outside the Algonquin Bridge, Mike Whiteley, Weasel News.
This is Weasel News. You need it. The Beast wears it with pride. The Horde. Before, deodorant was all about stopping you smelling. No longer. Now, it's about turning you into a raging beast. Wear the Horde. The Horde. Turn any party into a wild affair. With just one spray, women will be tearing the clothes off your back. Just like in your loneliest fantasies. Wear the Horde.
And now for something completely different.
I never stayed at a bed and breakfast, and I would not stay at a bed and breakfast. I figure at a bed and breakfast, by the end of the day, you start to get hungry. Is that all you got around here? Then you need to direct me to a chair lunch dinner. People come over to my hotel room and say, "Can I use your phone?" I say, "Sure." They say, "Do I need to dial 9? Yeah, especially if it's in the number. I mean, you can try 4 or 5 back to back real quick. Or hold down the 3. I tried to laugh all the way to the bank, but my bank was just too far away. I need to get a closer back and think of a funnier joke. You know what I miss, man? I miss the $2 bill. Because I could break a tooth. 20? No. 10? No. 5? Maybe. 2? Oh yeah. What do you need? A 1 and another 1? How about a 1 and 4 quarters? I have every option imaginable. If you had a 4, I would break it down with 2 tooths. But a 4 does not exist. I wish they made a fucked up denominational bill, like a $16 bill. That would make shit exciting. Someone owes you $64, I'm going to have to give you all 16s. Ain't you got any 8s? I used to do drugs, I still do, but I used to too. You know what I like? I like performing at a rock and roll club because the managers are much different than comedy club managers. They're much more lenient. Alright, we'll get into that later. I like the FedEx driver because he's a drug dealer and they don't even know it. And he's always on time. I like my drugs to have a tracking number so I can figure out exactly where they are. Where are the drugs at? I don't know, call the 1-800 number. Your drugs will load onto a van at 7:48 a.m. And it's scheduled for delivery today. Perfect, that's what I pay for. Yeah, I used to do a lot of drug jokes on stage. I part it down, because people think I'm high on stage, as it is. You know, I get that shit a lot. I'll do a show, I'll hang out in the back, someone come up to me and say, "Hey man, what were you on?" The stage. I don't get high before the show, no way. Because when I'm high, I don't want to stand in front of a bunch of people that I don't know. That does not sound comfortable. Like when you're high and a joke doesn't work, it's extra scary. It's like, whoa, what happened there? I am retreating within myself. Why have all these people gathered? And why am I elevating? Why am I not facing the same way as everyone else? That makes me very happy. People associate long hair with drug use. I wish long hair was associated with something other than drug use, like an extreme longing for cake. And stranger to see a long-haired guy and say, that fucker eats cake. He is on cupcakes. Mothers saying to their daughters, don't bring the cake eater over here anymore. He smells like flour. Did you see how excited you got when you found out your birthday was fast approaching? Hey man, my friend had a birthday party, so I blew up some balloons, because as we all know, trapped air indicates celebration. Look at all the trapped air. Something fun must be happening. I saw a lady with a flower, she was plucking out the petals. She was saying, he loves me not. Thank God the flower can't talk. What would it say? Fuck, that hurts. Fuck, that hurts as well. Fuck, leave me alone. I'm no longer pretty. And he loves you not. I thought I told you I had an even number of petals.
You need it. The beast wears it with pride. The horn. Before, deodorant was all about stopping you smelling. No longer. Now, it's about turning you into a raging beast. Wear the horn. The horn. Turn any party into a wild affair. With just one spray, women will be tearing the clothes off your back. Just like in your loneliest fantasies. Wear the horn.
You found that perfect someone. But you know, finding that perfect someone is more than handing over a $100 bill out your passenger window, or going to awkward speed dating nights and hoping you meet some other desperado. It's about a ticking clock. It's that message in the back of your head that says bang everything in sight. That's evolution's way of keeping the species going. But once you've found that special someone, you want to know, how old is she really? She says 31, but maybe you've got doubts. Hi, I'm Ed Michaels with RCD Personal Research. RCD stands for radiocarbon dating. Let's be honest, women are liars. Get the real answer about our age with radiocarbon dating. For a small fee, we'll send you an RCD kit, and with a strand of her hair, saliva, or frothy discharge, you can determine if you're going out with a granny or a girl that could get you jail time. Radiocarbon dating and personal research. It's time to know the truth.
Exotic places and forbidden fruit. Stay tuned. It's The Wild Traveler. Next.
Support for The Wild Traveler is brought to you by the Ultimate Disc in the Dark Association of America, who encourages you to get out and play hard. Hello, I'm James Badiston, World Traveler, and this is The Wild Traveler. We're discussing the world and all of its many pleasures. Let me put it like this. Why have a hot dog from an uncaring vendor by the bathroom when you can attend a beer-guzzling marathon in Germany with enormous men and taste a wonderful German's Wurst? The world is full of incredible things, and you can discover them for yourself. Come along, I'll take you there. It was dusk, and the sun bled red over the city in Thailand as Chen brought me a sparkling water. A delicate, handsome, lovely young boy. A world of possibilities. But war is folly, and we can only unite by visiting these epochs of culture, where a man can be himself, smoke cigarettes, dress in gladiator clothing if he likes. We mustn't force our way and culture upon other peoples. Rather, breathe it in. Become part of it. Maybe Hemingway was right about love. Maybe Freud was. We're all fighting inside to let a wild creature mate in the rain. I travel, therefore I am. This is a show that embraces culture from around the world. Let's take our first caller. Hello?
Yeah, I totally agree with you about Australia. And you're right, the moon is shit. Also, I was thinking of visiting Colombia. Do you have any recommendations?
Oh, yes, fantastic forms of recreation to be had in Colombia. It's a blizzard of excitement. And cheap. The rails are great. And long. Bolivia's not bad either. Or Peru. You'll be surprised to find out how the party never stops.
How's the food?
Well, a lighter is the most you need to cook up food. But there's scarcely time to eat, my boy. You'll meet fascinating people, feel so comfortable you'll rip your clothes off and howl for days. Next caller.
Yeah, hi. My name's Geraldine, calling from Kansas City. This is such a great country. Why would you go anywhere else? it's unpatriotic to travel. I mean, I got war, famine, depression, and pollution right here on my doorstep. And parents, don't let kids Euro-rail after college. They'll come back with ludicrous misconceptions about healthcare, charity, and civilization. Europe is not the real world. This is.
Well, I love to slum about in a dirty youth hostel with communal showers as much as the next man. Sometimes more. But I have to agree, Europe is overrated. Eastern Europe was good for a few years after the wall came down, but even there the police are too strict. You just can't let your hair down. There are far more unexplored pleasures to be had in the Far East. Next caller, you're on the Wild Traveler.
Hey, I've been listening to you go on and on about traveling. Do you know how expensive it is to fly to Asia? Russia saw the light. They're all coming here to set up crime families and run numbers. South America, everyone went extinct there. They have less culture there than the content of my toilet bowl. Rainforest, schmainforest. And Mexico, if I wanted to be that close to my ancient ancestors, I'd be banging my mother-in-law instead of my wife's best friend.
Look, we can fight like beasts or agree to disagree. I'm sure the summit of your aspirations in life is a cheerleader with fake guns, but some of us think a little more exotically than this. Next caller, vamos, buenos dias and noches. If you don't smile, I won't tip. Harder! Sorry, got lost for a second. Speak.
Hey, I love this show. I'm a huge fan. I visit all the places you've recommended, and in a lot of them, they're still talking about you. I even saw posters of you in the customs booth at the airport in the Philippines. You rock!
And no doubt, I love Manila. Had a great time.
But that show you did last week, what was the name of that spiritual center in Bangkok?
The Wild Dragon's Happy Ending. Very spiritual. You will find inner peace.
Awesome, I can't wait. Thanks, man.
Yes, we all love to travel, get away from it all, get away from the people with computers and their databases, the police harassing you for doing nothing. I just hate showing up to some place to enjoy myself and people are being forced from their homes by war or famine or whatever. Life is great! Stop ruining it! Next caller.
Hey, the FBI wants to talk to me about a perfectly innocent collection of vacation photographs overseas that I had no idea were being taken. I mean, any ignorant fool can misinterpret. I was teaching them how to swim.
I have a lot of experience with this. I want you to stop for a moment and let me read from my travel journal. I think everyone should keep a journal. Paste pictures, notes. Sometimes people object to you taking their picture, but a few pennies of their local currency and they will fawn over you. Some people think this is patronizing, but I think it is fair enough. They need the money and I need the company. Besides which, it is the oldest profession. What? Oh, time for me to head south again. I'm James Pedeaston, and this has been The Wild Traveler.
At work or in rehab, listen to WCTR.
Will the markets crash? The Nasdaq has taken a serious pummeling today, with the index down below an important number for the first time since a while ago. Although this seems very dramatic, the fact is it doesn't mean much. Hedge funders, traders, and financial services people were looking anxious until they realized they claim fees whether stocks go up or down.
In a near-unanimous vote, Congress passed the Jingoism Act today without much debate.
Besides outlawing encryption and privacy, the act makes it mandatory for all residents to speak well of our government. Residents were pleased with the act finally passing.
Those terrorists is crazy, dawg. They don't even go to strip clubs. No wonder they so mad. You gotta have some titties in your face occasionally.
Outside one of just 8 million bean machines, Mike Whiteley, Weasel News.
Campaign season is here and will stretch on indefinitely as both Michael Graves and John Hunter flood the airways with campaign commercials, and both are reminded that Weasel News is the most respected news source in the nation with great advertising rates.
Just when you thought there were enough gangsters in town and police were finally getting a handle on organized crime, another family is making for a play in the big leagues. The so-called Alderney mob is gaining prominence on the other side of the West River. Who knows? Soon they might be strong-arming businesses in Algonquin along with the 5 big mafia families in Liberty City. The Ancelottis, the Pavanos, the Gambettis, the Lupicellos, and the Messinas. I'm Jim Harrison, Weasel News.
This is Weasel News.